All right, welcome back to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. This is the Attack the Rack daily lineup. Today is Wednesday, September the 11th in the year 2024.
Guys, every family party or social event needs something special. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals LLC can do that for you. They provide inflatable bounce houses and water slides on top of great service in the West Michigan Lakeshore area. Call Bounce Master Sam at 616-485-0257 today and mention Attack the Rack to get $25 off your next rental. Also, find Bubba's Bounce House Rentals LLC on Facebook. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals. All we rent is fun.
All right, let's start with some Colorado football. We don't really talk about Colorado football enough, thank goodness. Last year, that was all anyone wanted to talk about for a team that won, 4 games. And it's not quite as bad this year, but they still get all kinds of attention, all kinds of media hype. And that team is an absolute disaster, and I'm sick of it, guys. You got their last game, they ended up they were down 28-0 to Nebraska. Ended up making it, what was the final? 28-14.
Yeah, they scored some garbage time points.
Yeah. But you got Shedeur Sanders, the starting quarterback, son of the head coach Deion Sanders, walking off the field with 2 minutes to go. You've got him then in the press conference after the game throwing the offensive line under the bus. You've got alleged, all kinds of crazy stuff going on in the locker room all the time. You've got Deion Sanders allegedly wanting at home games the pep band when Shedeur throws a touchdown pass to play Shedeur's rap song, not the Colorado fight song.
That's
it sounds
crazy.
like just a terrible culture there. I mean, how much of a leash is University of Colorado give Deion? It's already turn the program around.
Deion spoke yesterday at his press conference and said he never requested the rap song be played and the band not to play. So don't be too harsh on old prime time.
Big Mo, I used the word alleged. So
you did? Okay. Alleged.
So anyway, what kind of leash does he get? I mean, how much longer can this go on? I mean, it's only been one season where they went 4-8. I think they're going to struggle to get 4 wins again this year. We're not really seeing that. You're supposed to turn this program around. We're not seeing it. He comes in last year, gets rid of the whole team, brings in all these new guys. This year kind of did the same thing. He's just pulling guys out of the portal, and it just doesn't seem to be working. And he has what supposedly is one of the best quarterbacks in the country, one of the best pure football players in the country in Travis Hunter, phenomenal wide receiver, phenomenal defensive back.
I think that all goes to show just how important the team is in the aspect of football, because truly, both those guys are going to be top 5 picks probably.
Well, that was one thing I was wondering what you thought too. Going into the season, Shedeur Sanders was probably one of the top quarterback prospects. I don't know about that anymore.
I think he still will. I think he still will be, just for the fact that he's Deion's son. He does have the ability and the talent. Right now, Colorado didn't get a running game. The offensive line still has not played very well, and they don't stop anybody. They didn't make any adjustments or improvements over last year. So I don't know where the change has come. So I don't think that reflects on Shedeur or Travis. I think that's more to do with, again, I think I read somewhere they brought in like 80% new transfers / freshmen again this year.
And it ain't working.
It ain't working. I think there's got to be a balance with all that. And when they don't have Travis or Shedeur next year, then really what happens?
Yeah.
That'll be the next interesting plot, because they're going to give him this year. They're probably going to give him next year to see what he does without those guys. And then I think it's time to reevaluate if I'm the Colorado Buffaloes athletic department.
You think he stays after Shedeur leaves?
Probably not.
Yeah, I could see him just not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
But then what is he? Yeah. I mean, that's hard to tell, right? Because I think he semi enjoys it. but I don't know if that's just because he's got his boys there right now.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Um, you know, it's not an easy job. I mean, those guys get paid a ton of money, but the pressure that probably those football programs who are elite or supposed to be elite, you are on the chopping block probably every game if you're not careful. Unless you're a legend in the game.
True.
So I'm not sure he stays. I think maybe he stays for a year to see if he can do it without his boys, or his sons. But other than that, why would you stay after that?
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know, it just feels like he's not like a real college football coach. There's a lot of the extra stuff that he kind of brings out, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a great formula to build a true real team. When you look at some of the other coaches like Dabo and those guys that are all about team and being together and relationships and that kind of stuff, it feels like it's like a one-stop shop for some guys that want to move on somewhere better the following year.
Yeah.
It's definitely the new age, maybe. I think we're getting a glimpse of how tough that is. Like, I think there's a balance. Like, promote yourself, promote your players, but you still better be able to promote the program.
Right.
I'm not sure that's happening in a balanced way, which I think we're seeing the effects of that.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, bringing in 80% new guys, not, offensive line doesn't seem to be improved. I mean, that obviously falls on the head coach. He's the one bringing in the players.
I think they would tell you the talent's improved, but for some reason it's still, just as we know, like Michigan's offensive line, you got 5 new guys. It takes some time to probably gel. You can't just throw those groups together all the time. Maybe you can get away with doing one with some experience, but I think we're seeing just how maybe vital some of that is in the football game.
Yeah. And Shadur Sanders was not wrong. The offensive line sucks, but you can't, especially as a college player, you can't call out your offensive line in a press conference.
Yeah, when you're the leader of the team and they kind of rely on you to be the guy to bring everybody together, and you're just crapping on your own guys.
All that takes is a little gift from the NIL gods to right those ships. Give me some Beat headphones, some new Nikes.
Yep.
Maybe a couple buffet dinners if I'm an old lineman, and I'm feeling pretty good again.
Yeah.
But one last thing, it's not a very good way to get your offensive line to block better for you.
No, give him the Paul Crew treatment.
All right, hey, let's move on. University of Michigan players Denard Robinson and Braylon Edwards are leading the charge for a class action a lawsuit against the NCAA and the Big Ten, $50 million. Here's what I'm confused about. I don't know if you guys know this aspect of it, but it applies to University of Michigan football players before 2016. NIL didn't start until 2021. Any thoughts on why? I couldn't really figure out why it only applies to players prior to 2016.
They weren't getting paid for being good, I think.
And getting paid under the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my point is the NIL didn't start until 2021. So what about the 2017, 2018, 2019 guys?
When was the first college football like EA game? Was that back in 2000s?
Oh yeah, that was or maybe even late 90s.
Because then the last one was 14. The one they until
so maybe they're saying they lost some of that money because they didn't do it anymore.
Yeah. Maybe some of it has to do with that, but I think it goes above and beyond the EA Sports game. I think it has to do with everything, jersey sales, all that stuff.
Yeah, maybe they can only go back so long.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, what do you think? I mean, can they really?
It's done with. It's over with. Get over it. It's over.
Yeah. I mean, where does it end? I mean, every single college player in the country can start filing lawsuits.
Yeah, you could go every 5-star or 4-star player from the last 20 years who didn't get any money from them marketing them, and now it's or maybe they just need a paycheck and they're just deciding that, hey, here's a great way to potentially
Great
get
way to try to get something. Probably
yeah.
something's better than nothing.
Whatever happened with the Ed O'Bannon, Charles O'Bannon, whichever one it was? I think maybe it was Ed or maybe it was both of them. They went after EA and the NCAA a few years ago. That's kind of what really kind of sparked the conversation.
Well, I think isn't that what sparked it all?
Yeah, I think it is. Did they end up? Were they successful or no? I don't think they were. Were they? Or maybe they were.
Good question. That's a good question. No clue on my part.
Yeah, I just wonder why. I mean, if it's a viable option, why isn't more people doing it? Why is it just the O'Bannons and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, here comes Denard Robinson and Braylon Edwards?
Yeah, well, it's probably not viable, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the sticking point there. Like, I can't imagine this gets like they win any money out of this, because then if you pay them, where does it stop?
well, and again, as unfair as some of it might be, I mean, it wasn't like anyone was forced to play these games. So I would think, I mean, they're entering into an agreement. Here's the rules. By playing, you're accepting these rules. As unfair as maybe some of it might seem, and probably is, certainly. I don't know if they really have much of a case. You know,
Yeah, I don't think they have a big case either.
yeah,
But it's like if you go back to that same era of football, like there's bigger stars out there in college football than those two guys that
yeah,
could probably be doing the same thing.
right.
But then
for
you even
sure.
look at like Johnny Manziel, for instance, who was unbelievable in college.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he decide to go do the same thing?
Right.
I don't know. That's weird. Like Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel and like those guys from that class, like
Manziel already made enough.
he did make a lot of money.
Yeah. All right. We got to get Big Mo off to his side hustle of the day. Let's get.
Yeah, we got one more. You got one more topic? I might stick around. I got one more topic in me, Kurt.
Yeah, one more. Let's talk about
Okay.
Jason Mason, the running back from the 49ers. I'm a little confused by this whole thing as to why it's actually a big deal. So on Friday, obviously Christian McCaffrey ruled out. None of us knew that until pretty much game time on Monday night or late afternoon. And then Monday night they played the Jets. And then after the game, a reporter asked Jason Mason, who was the backup running back who had a phenomenal game in replace of Christian McCaffrey, asked him, when did you know you were going to start? He says Friday. Now, apparently that's a big deal. Does that have to do with like the NFL is supposed to have their injury report out or something by a certain time?
That could be.
What if on Friday? Yeah. Okay, so what they're saying is they already knew on Friday McCaffrey was out, and here's the evidence of that: Jason Mason telling them that he knew on Friday, yet
Yeah.
it wasn't disclosed until Monday afternoon, Monday evening.
Especially because if the game plan changes,
Right.
if they find out Friday that McCaffrey's not in, I would probably scout a little bit differently, or at least play a little bit differently. I don't know. I mean, he did have a great game.
Which it looks maybe the Jets did play differently and then got their butts kicked by him.
True.
Maybe they were trying to take away the pass and it ended up biting him in the backside.
Yeah.
Right.
I still think I don't know. Did any of you guys catch Shanahan's presser?
No.
Oh, because he said that he was pretty adamant that he did not say
Oh yeah.
to Jason that he was going to be starting.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to make sure you're ready to go. You got to make sure you're ready to go.
Yeah.
That was his
Sure.
explanation of the situation.
Yeah, I did hear that. But then I don't know when it was. Maybe it was at the same press conference. Jason Mason was asked about it again, and he's like, I'm not going to talk about it. And basically it was like, you can't really say anything to the media. This is what happens. It's like, you're the one that said Friday.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be dealing with kids of all ages. My guess seriously is he probably just heard that he needs to be ready and thought that meant, I started the game, no big deal, and that's what I'm going to tell the media afterwards. Like, I was ready to start,
Yeah.
and he probably, I got to admit, those things are pretty. That whole injury report and like announcing it and things like that. That's a pretty big deal. Obviously, not just for the NFL, but because of the gambling aspects of it all.
Right.
I got to imagine that this is probably. I mean, and again, if I'm a team, I'm probably trying to hide everything I can. But again, in today's world, nothing stays hidden.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is like, if he's told on Friday by Coach Shanahan, hey, make sure you're ready, like, isn't that just kind of like a cliche? That's what you say. He had to have known, like, he had to have known something about Christian McCaffrey might not be playing. I mean,
I'm sure they.
the backup running back, he wouldn't be like, oh wow, I'm starting on Monday, like over Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
But it seems like what is it? I forget what I saw. McCaffrey something to do with his Achilles, right? Arthritis in the Achilles.
Oh wow, okay.
So maybe they just know, hey, let's just make. I mean, I'm sure McCaffrey probably would have wanted to play, but why would you risk it this early in the season? So
Yeah.
again, maybe they're more on the fact that, hey, yeah, maybe he wasn't going to play, but we were pretty certain that he was not going to play, and they used that to their advantage. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just got to list him as questionable,
Yes.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Isn't that what Belichick did with Brady? Is like basically his entire career? Wasn't he on every single injury report?
Something like that.
Just questionable. Yeah. So it saves you. It keeps you safe.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he could play or he might not play.
Yeah.
Which, not a bad idea, I guess.
Yeah.
Probable, questionable, might be all sorts of those ones.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, hey, again, we're doing the show now Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so this is it for the week. Anything we missed? Anything else? We got Indiana Fever tonight, Big Mo.
Oh, what time?
Probably 7:30. I think they're playing. Who are they playing?
It's the Aces. It's the Aces next week, right?
Yeah, not the Aces.
Okay.
Las Vegas.
It is?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it is the Aces at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Ooh,
7
big
o'clock. It's at home too. So okay.
Aces are favored by 4.5.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I don't know if I'll be home by then. Quite then.
Well,
I have to watch it on tape delay.
That DVR.
DVR, baby.
I'm sure you got it to record.
Hey, shout out to the Tigers. Right, even though I'm not a fan. They won another one last night, right? They won it 3 back, really 4 back, because they got to jump Minnesota to get in, right?
Yep.
No, they got to get – that's for the last wild card spot.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they got to jump them.
They can't tie with Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So if they're 3 back of taking over that spot.
I think they're 3 back.
3 back of tying it.
Yeah. 4 back to get in.
4 to jump them.
Yeah, but so they won 11-0 last night.
Yeah,
nice pitching duel. I don't know the guy's name, but he shut out with under 100 pitches. I heard.
Wow.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, Minnesota won as well. So,
well, hey, just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Take care of business. Prove me wrong, Tigers. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, prove Big Mo wrong. I do think there's plenty of games left to make it up. So we'll see.
Restore the roar, they say. Restore the roar.
Yeah. There hasn't been a roar for 12 years.
Yeah, they've been Cubs. They've been Cubs, Trent. Now they're starting to mature a little bit.
Well, Trent, before they were good in when did they start getting – it was 2006. Trent, we had to wait from 1987 till 2006. So – that's a lot longer than this
week. You know what, though? They were fun guys to watch, though. Great group of guys in the mid and late 80s into the 90s. Just great individuals.
Yes. All right. Anything else? All right. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekends. Another big weekend of football. And we'll see you Monday.